emails, Grant?
We did not.
Okay. I'll move on to the next item, which is consent of the regular session meeting minutes for our October meeting. Those were previously distributed. Are there any other comments or edits?
No.
All right, we'll go ahead and approve those by consent. Next on the agenda is approval of the meeting, the memorandum from our executive session on that same date. Any corrections or anything to add there?
Good session.
Good. It says approval, so I guess I'll go ahead and entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion of approval of the memorandum of executive session of the Redevelopment Commission from October 23rd, 2023.
I will second that.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor of approving, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Passes 5-0. Next item is approval of claims and expenses for the last month. I will hand it over to Grant.
Yes, thank you. So the claims for this month are from October 21st through November 24th in the amount of $30,448.44. Just a couple of highlights of those. Barnes & Thornburg legal TIF matters in the amount of $6,926. Beck Communications, just some continual discussion about communications regarding the Wilshaw Hotel and other projects. A couple of other bigger ones, Rundle Ernstberger for the Speedway Gateway sign, their oversight, $1,291.69. And then Taylor, Chad, Manette, and Schneider for the Reagan Outdoor Advertising versus the Redevelopment Commission of a grand total of $135. And you might ask, what is that? Well, several years ago, the town, SRC, purchased the former Logan's Tavern property on 16th Street. There is a lawsuit regarding that, and we had a consultation conference where their mediation was trying to be reached, and the town attorney represented the SRC at that meeting. We also have invoices from the Veritas Group, one for their typical professional services in regard to the roundtable, the developers roundtable that closes out that contract and has been completed. The other one is for the oversight of the Gateway project. So we recommend approval of those claims.
Any other questions for Grant?
No questions.
This is probably the shortest claims list I've seen. We must be doing something right.
I like that.
Very good. Well, I will entertain a motion to approve.
I make a motion that we approve the claims as submitted.
I'll second.
Thank you. I have a motion and a second. All those in favor of approving the claims and expenses as submitted, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Passes 5-0. And now back to Grant for the director's report.
Yes, so I've got a couple of items this month. The first is an update on the Pocket Park on Main Street. As you know, we've been fighting this for the past 6 months or so. Over the past 3 weeks, they got the concrete work in front of the 1300 block building complete. They are now working on the concrete work on the corners as you go towards 14th Street there across from the Spark. And then the flat work should start on the stage and the open area in front of the stage over the next couple of weeks. The ultimate goal is to have that completed by December the 19th. So they are on task to hopefully get that done, weather contingent. If we have a lot of rain or snow, that will hold that up. But the contractor we have on it now did a really nice job on the removal and replacement of the sidewalk that wasn't up to snuff on Main Street. It looks much, much better. I think everyone's very happy with that, and they have done a very good job of working that. So we have good faith in them that they will do what they purport to do on the project. The second update is a little bit of a worse update because I expected this project to be done by now. The Gateway project out on High School Road in Crawfordsville. If you've driven by there, you'll notice that all the landscaping is in. The trees, the flowers, the different plantings, the new irrigation lines, the elevated mound there on the south side in front of Denny's. All of that has been accomplished. It looks great, but the sign's not done. The base is there. They are still fabricating the sign. We have been told they should have the sign fabricated by the 15th of December. Now, a week or two to install that is my guess, but it's also probably weather dependent. It's not going to be until the 1st of January. So what is the town doing about that? Well, we do have a clause in there where we are exercising the liquidated damages clause. It's only $100 per day, but they are over that contract date, and we are enforcing that $100 per day. So they're ultimately going to be about 60 days over that deadline, maybe a little more. So you can do the math, and it's not compensating us for not getting the project done, but it is something that we're holding their feet to the fire. That was actually something we lowered a little bit. Originally, it was supposed to be 200, and we were concerned about that because some of the bid specifications required different deadlines. So we lowered that just to 100, and they've hit everything but the actual sign. But anyway, that's where we are. That's my report this month.
Great, thank you very much. Any other questions for Grant? All right, we'll move on to our one item of new business tonight, which is approval of Crawfordsville Road irrigation repairs, kind of in that sign location again.
Yes.
Can you give us some more information on that?
So I'd like to edit what we put on the agenda here. It's consideration of approval. I'm not demanding that you approve this, right? I'm reaching out, asking the SRC to assist. So if you know that area, this was done 12 years ago, right? A lot of that landscaping was put in 2010, 11, and 12. Irrigation was put in at that time. Over the years, it's been damaged. It's been not kept very well. We've had some theft of different parts, so about half the system doesn't really work. In fact, I would say it's more like 75% of the system that doesn't work. Because we've invested the time and money and effort out there, we would like to bring that part of the irrigation up to snuff to match the new stuff that we just put in. And we are going to have a maintenance contract that the town will pay for as a part of an ongoing agreement with the company, not Smock Fansler, but the irrigation company. I hope to avoid this problem, and we'll have this maintained and upkept every year and not have these issues. But they have given us a quote, and it is a not to exceed quote. So that means they will not go above this amount, and they actually believe it's going to be something less than this amount. So the amount they've put in there is $75,000 for the upgrade, repair of the existing drip line irrigation, repairs on the north-south center median of Crawfordsville between high school and Cunningham, and it's a not to exceed quote. This will cover material, labor, and they'll bill us once that project is complete. Mm-hmm. We think it's going to take them a couple of months. They've got to do some investigation. They won't charge the system this fall. They'll charge it only to make sure it works and then clean it out. But we will then have it ready to go in the spring with all the connections made and the repairs done. We are asking the Redevelopment Commission to pay for this amount of up to $75,000. And the reason we're asking that is, remember, the bid came in lower on the gateway sign, and we had all committed a little additional dollars. We're taking care of some of the other upgraded landscaping that we're working on. We'd love to have the SRC assist with this amount. I'll answer any questions that you might have. I don't know if I did a good enough sales job or not, but so.
You may have said this, but have we used them before, or are they doing work for us?
No, so this is the contractor that's doing the work out at the gateway sign.
Okay.
So Smock is the general contractor. Okay. I can't remember off the top of my head the name of the firm now, and I should have written that down. But Smock there'll be a sub under Smock on this part. Yeah. But they've done a good job for what we've had out there. Mm-hmm. And we also checked, this is fairly customary on this kind of a project, to do a not to exceed, because you just don't know.
Sure.
We know there's lines out there, we're not exactly sure what all the condition is.
Yeah.
And I think the town has been negligent, I'm going to be honest, over the past decade. We should have done a better job. When things broke, we should have fixed them, budgeted for dollars to repair, mm-hmm. and we're going to change that. So, in fact, we've already changed that.
Mm-hmm. Good. Yeah, I think, we've made this investment in this location. This is the gateway to our town, and we want to make sure that it looks good now and into the future, so.
I'd just be curious, cost is one of those things as we analyze. It's hard because we're not putting in these kind of lines every year.
Yep.
Do they have any kind of other municipality groups that they've worked with in the past that we can kind of just ask questions to, or just to get some understanding on the value of $75,000? It seems reasonable, but I don't know.
So we asked Veritas to verify this. So Veritas is our contractor on the job, they're the owner's rep. So they actually investigated what they put together and verified that that is a very reasonable amount.
Okay.
They also recommended this approach and the not to exceed. That's why it's drafted in this form. I think it protects the town. The work that they've done for us has been very, very good. They've done everything they said they were going to do. The Smock Fansler, they've got a performance bond. If something doesn't go well, it will be covered in that performance bond. I didn't call other communities that they've worked in, but they've done a good job for us thus
Perfect.
far. And they have all the bonds and all the required things that are required to do this kind of work.
Got it. Thanks, Grant.
Yep.
Is this all of the irrigation system that we have, or does it extend beyond?
This is just, so this work is just being done on the irrigation out by High School Road. There's
Okay.
additional irrigation along Crawfordsville as you go back
Towards the circle.
towards the circle, towards the Speedway. Some of that works, some of it does not. We're in the process of fixing and repairing that as well.
Okay.
One of the things we've had happen, just because I think it's interesting for people to know, is we've had the brass stolen out of the controls several different times, and I think the town gave up because it was being stolen. So, not saying it's Speedway residents, it's probably not Speedway residents, but someone coming through town pulls over, sees a clump of brass, they get out, they cut it, and they go. We didn't have cameras like we do nowadays, but that's happened at least 2 or 3 times in 2 or 3 different locations. We're having fabricated cages that will lock and protect that.
Great. Okay.
So we won't have that problem again, unless they have a blowtorch, and then there's nothing we can do.
Just tell them how to do it.
But we have had this problem, right? The B&O trails put up the new, the boards over on the B&O Trail crossing on 10th. They were stolen. Someone had a saw and they cut them and they took them. And these things happen from time to time. You can't control every location at every moment. Having lights in different areas definitely helps. Also, having cameras helps us as well.
Yeah.
We've got 22 cameras around the town and trying to get more. So anyway, did that answer the question?
Yep. Is there a plan then to kind of refresh, update any of the landscaping that's needs
On
refreshed?
Crawfordsville Road specifically?
Yeah, that like this would sprinkle.
medians.
Yeah, in these medians.
So we have a maintenance contract with Nick Raymond Landscaping. They will update and maintain everything.
Okay.
So they've been doing it for a year now. We used to have Pierre, I'm drawing a blank on the name of their company, but the street department pays for that every year. We bid that out. It's a 3-year contract. We just bid it out and saved about $70,000 per year, or I'm sorry, for the 3-year period, and they've done a great job. They pick up trash, they cut limbs and debris out, they replace plants that die, they water in times of drought where the irrigation didn't work. Those are the kind of things that they ultimately do for us.
Okay.
So they will maintain the new stuff out there, and they're not increasing the price on us, which is a good thing. Does that answer your question?
Yep. Thank you.
Great. Anything else?
No?
All right. Well, I will entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the Crawfordsville Road irrigation repairs for the total not to exceed $75,000.
I'll second it.
Thank you. I have a motion and a second. All those in favor of approving the irrigation repairs, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Passes 5-0.
Thank you.
There is no old business on the agenda tonight. Any upcoming, there's lots, community events? Holiday is upon us.
Yes, holidays are upon us. So next week, big night, we have Light the Night on Main on December 6th, starting at 5:30. So be sure to bring your families out over to Main Street and enjoy a night of some Christmas celebration.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Centennial Planning Committee Events Subcommittee is meeting Thursday, I think at 5:30. So if you want to be involved with that and planning any of the events for that,
Awesome.
they're getting started, so.
I saw on Monday next week, the library is also having their holiday event. You can come trim their tree, and I think there's a puppet show and talk to Santa and show him your list. So
Nice.
Also, this time of year, I would be remiss if I didn't remember our friend Tom Popchef, and he would always remind us to support our local businesses here in town. So when you're thinking about gifts this year, gift cards, et cetera, to eat, shop, et cetera, please remember our local businesses to help them during this time of year. Anything else? I will adjourn the meeting tonight at 6:16. Thank you very much.